Picture this. While most companies scramble to react when disasters strike their supply chains, General Motors already knows what's coming days or even weeks in advance. Sound like science fiction? It's not. It's the reality of AI-powered supply chain management in 2025. When Hurricane Helene unleashed its fury across North Carolina in September 2024, something remarkable happened at General Motors headquarters. Their artificial intelligence system had already flagged a critical alert. Auria Solutions, a vital supplier manufacturing automotive carpets and textiles, was directly in the storm's destructive path. This wasn't just any supplier. Auria produces the specialized carpets for GM's most profitable full-size SUVs, including the Chevrolet Tahoe, Suburban, GMC Yukon, and the luxury Cadillac Escalade. As predicted, the hurricane devastated the North Carolina facility, cutting off both water and electrical power. But here's where it gets interesting. GM wasn't caught off guard. After the hurricane hit, they had no water access, and their entire carpet production relies on water jet cutting technology, explained Kevin Kelly, General Motors spokesperson to Business Insider. Our response teams were already mobilized and helped them drill a new water well to get production back online. This water well represents something much bigger than emergency response. It's proof of concept for GM's revolutionary 4-year journey into AI-powered supply chain prediction. Sean Gaskin, General Motors Director of Systems Engineering and one of the masterminds behind this AI program, reveals that their technology has successfully prevented at least 75 factory shutdowns throughout 2024 alone. But here's where it gets controversial. Should one company have this much predictive power over its suppliers' operations? The catalyst for GM's high-tech transformation traces back to one of the most challenging periods in automotive history. Between 2020 and 2023, the global pandemic triggered semiconductor chip shortages that our supply chain serves as the backbone of our entire business operation, and it's incredibly complex, Morrison explained to Business Insider. The pandemic taught us that traditional data management and analytics approaches weren't sufficient. We discovered that artificial intelligence could be the key to unlocking improved performance, enhanced efficiency, and substantial value creation. The numbers tell the story of this transformation. Since the pandemic disrupted global supply chains, General Motors has expanded its supplier monitoring network by a factor of 10. Think about that for a moment. They're now tracking 10 times more suppliers than before. But here's the part most people miss. GM didn't just expand horizontally to more Tier 1 suppliers. They went deeper, using AI to map out what industry insiders call Tier N companies, the suppliers of suppliers of suppliers, creating an intricate web of dependencies that human analysts could never effectively monitor. This AI-powered monitoring system combines two sophisticated technologies: predictive modeling that forecasts potential disruptions, and real-time data analysis that provides immediate insights into supply chain health. The results speak for themselves. GM has successfully navigated major global events, from China's strategic restrictions on rare earth magnet exports to smaller but equally critical factory-level incidents, such as material providers missing crucial production deadlines. So how exactly does this AI system work? GM's engineers have developed what they call a four-pronged approach, and understanding each component reveals just how sophisticated modern supply chain management has become. The first component involves creating a comprehensive digitized supply map paired with a coordinating machine learning tool. This isn't just a static diagram, it's a living, breathing digital representation that constantly tracks and updates relationships between Tier 1 suppliers and all their sub-tier partners. Imagine a family tree, but instead of relatives, it shows every single company involved in producing your car, no matter how small their contribution. The second element is a centralized communication hub, monitored around the clock by risk analysts stationed in Michigan. When the AI system identifies any potential disruption, this hub immediately activates, triggering comprehensive investigations. Gaskin notes that this system has initiated thousands of investigations since its implementation, catching problems before they cascade into production halts. The third component, called risk intelligence, represents perhaps the most fascinating aspect of GM's AI arsenal. This sophisticated article scanner reads and classifies thousands of daily news articles from around the globe, searching for any information that could potentially impact the company's supply chain network. It's like having a team of speed readers working 24/7, but with the ability to process information at superhuman scales and connect dots that human analysts might miss. Finally, a comprehensive dashboard continuously monitors supplier sites for early warning signs of trouble. This includes tracking shipping delays, identifying overdue parts deliveries, and flagging missed production schedules. The system creates a real-time health report for GM's entire supply network. Gaskin emphasizes that these tools address a fundamental limitation of human scale analysis. We challenged ourselves to think about how a human analyst would actually navigate through our entire supply chain network to identify those critical needle-in-a-haystack risks that could prevent major disruptions, Gaskin told Business Insider. You quickly realize that humans simply cannot do this effectively at the scale we require. They need technological assistance to be successful. But here's where the story takes an interesting turn. And this is the part that might spark some debate. GM's AI capabilities don't just benefit the automotive giant. They create advantages for suppliers throughout the network. The technology helps maintain steady product flow to dealerships while giving GM several days to a full week of advance warning for unexpected supply chain complications. Gaskin explains that their AI system has repeatedly identified storm risks and concentration vulnerabilities before suppliers even recognize the threats, providing partners with crucial time to implement protective measures. We can proactively approach our suppliers and warn them about risks they should be concerned about, Gaskin noted. Sometimes they're completely unaware of the danger. It creates a win-win situation where increased supplier operational efficiency translates directly into improved GM production and profitability throughout the entire supply chain. However, this raises some thought-provoking questions about power dynamics in supplier relationships. When one company has significantly more predictive capability than its partners, does this create an imbalance? Should suppliers be concerned about becoming too dependent on GM's AI insights? According to Gaskin, the technology isn't designed to replace human workers, but rather to enhance their capabilities. The AI systems help data center employees identify and prioritize risks, enabling suppliers to maintain consistent parts production, keeping GM's factory floors operational, and ensuring company profitability. Additionally, Gaskin suggests that this technological leadership helps attract top-tier talent to the organization. These AI systems function as assistants at their core, Gaskin clarified. General Motors wants to establish itself as a premier destination for employment. If you're not operating at the technological cutting edge, you won't attract the industry's best talent. The AI systems ensure that processes throughout GM's supply chain continue operating smoothly, allowing factory workers to maintain vehicle assembly with readily available components. This represents a fundamental shift from reactive to proactive supply chain management. Yet General Motors faces significant ongoing challenges in the global automotive supply chain market. The company's international supplier network makes it particularly vulnerable to tariff fluctuations and trade policy changes. In a recent press release, CEO Mary Barra announced that GM expects to pay between $4 billion and $5 billion in tariffs by the end of 2025, a staggering financial burden that could impact competitiveness. And this is where it gets controversial. If GM needs to restructure its supplier network to avoid these tariffs, they already possess the technological infrastructure to map out optimal sourcing locations. This gives them a significant competitive advantage over automakers still relying on traditional supply chain management approaches. But does this create unfair market advantages? What we've accomplished is unlocking substantial operational efficiency gains, Morrison concluded. We believe we're operating at the cutting edge of supply chain management technology. So here's the question that might keep industry experts awake at night. Is GM's AI-powered supply chain management the future of manufacturing? Or does it represent a concerning concentration of predictive power that could reshape entire industries? Are we witnessing the evolution of more resilient supply chains? Or the creation of technological dependencies that could become vulnerabilities themselves? What do you think? Should other companies be racing to develop similar AI capabilities? Or should there be industry standards governing how much predictive power one company should hold over its suppliers? Share your thoughts, because this debate is just getting started, and your perspective could influence how the next generation of supply chain technology develops.